Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock and it's time for another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the 10 predictions that I have for 2023. That's right, we're already over a week into the new year. Time flies. And I think there's going to be a lot of things happening in 2023. There's going to be a lot of shifts to the landscape, a lot of changes within the Magic community. And I sat down and I thought about it and I put together a list of 10 things that I think are going to happen in the Magic community. So without further ado, let's have a look at my top 10 predictions for 2023 in the Magic community. Okay, in number one, I think that a magician is going to win Britain's Got Talent this year. Now, there's only ever one person that's ever won Britain's Got Talent as a magician, and that is, of course, the incredible Richard Jones, who was a very deserved winner. That was many, many years ago now. We've had several winners, of several magicians that have won AGT, and I genuinely think that the time is now that we're going to have a winner of BGT that is a magician. Last year we didn't even have a magician in the final. If you remember, all of the magicians got knocked out in the semi-finals, and then the year before, there wasn't one the year before, but the previous one, we had a whole bunch of magicians in the final, including Jasper Cherry, Magical Bones, Ada McCann, the list goes on and on and on. I think this year we're going to have a magician actually win Britain's Got Talent. I think that Magic is more popular than ever before. I'm seeing that with the amount of bookings and the reactions from people at gigs, and I think that the time is now. I'm also aware of a couple of people that are going to be on BGT this year, and I think that there's some incredible people that could make a huge impact on that show. So yeah, there's my first prediction. I think a magician is going to win Britain's Got Talent in 2023. Okay, number two, in second position, my second prediction of 2023, I think the trick of the year is going to be created by an unknown artist that as of right now, we haven't heard of them. One thing that I'm seeing is there's a lot of new creators coming in Magic. I did a video last week of people to watch in 2023, and I think there's a lot of people coming up through the ranks that we haven't heard of before, a lot of new creators. And that's wonderful. You know, a lot of the time we create a buzz about the David Regals and the Greg Wilsons and the Jay Sankeys and the Richard Sanders of the world, and they've been around forever, and there's a reason for that. It's because they're incredible at what they do. However, I think the time is right for somebody who's going to really take the Magic world by storm. They're going to be Creator of the Year, they're going to be Trick of the Year, they're going to have an incredible 2023, and I don't think we've heard of them, or if they have, they're on the bubble. In other words, maybe they've been posting on Facebook groups and they've been kind of making a name for themselves on Instagram or something, and then this is the year they explode. I remember when Eric Jones was posting on the Magic Cafe all the time, especially in the coin section, and he was posting various different things that he did, and he was creating a name for himself, and then the following year he just blew up. Same happened with Garrett Thomas, same happened with Justin Miller. I think that we're going to see that this year. I think that the Trick of the Year, the Creator of the Year, is by somebody who we've never heard of. Just look at this year. Everybody is saying that one of the candidates for Trick of the Year is laced up by Donovan Mount. Up until that point, when that came out around about Black Friday, I'd never even heard of Donovan Mount. He hasn't got anything else. He's got no track record out, and all of a sudden he comes out with this trick that everybody has fallen in love with. I think that's going to happen again this year, so watch out for it. Okay, third prediction for 2023. I think downloads are going to be all but vanished. Now, for many, many years, downloads have been a big thing in the Magic community. The ability to instantly download something and stream it and watch it immediately means you don't have to wait for a physical product and so on and so forth. But I think downloads have had their day. I think downloads are disappearing. Now, I am aware that there are companies out there that do pretty well with downloads. 1914 do pretty well with downloads. I believe that Penguin do pretty well with downloads as well. But I do think downloads have had their day. And there's a few different reasons for that. The first reason is There's so many more membership sites now than ever before. You know, look at the Society of Secrets, look at Christian Grace's Magic Monthly, look at the NETRIX, for example. There's over 300 tricks on the NETRIX. I've never released a download because whenever I create something that I think, you know what, that'd make a good download, I just put it on the NETRIX for free. A lot of the stuff that's on the NETRIX I could have probably released as a download, as an individual thing, but I just chose not to. As well as that, there's a lot of sort of academies and masterclasses and Penguin Lives that are happening at the moment. And a lot of those involve tricks that would have been downloads. So for example, I've just done my Vanishing Ink Masterclass, and I think there's something like 20 odd tricks on the Vanishing Ink Masterclass. I just threw everything on there. They're all pretty much all unpublished material, and I just wanted to create a masterclass of stuff that people hadn't seen before. Now, most of those tricks that I put on that masterclass could have been individual downloads, but you know, they all just went on a masterclass, same as the academies, same as the Penguin Lives. I just think, and also a lot of producers, they're wanting to gravitate towards physical products because instant downloads, no matter how hard you try, they can be pirated in 0.2 seconds. You can very easily pirate them and get them up on a pirate website or get them up for 50 odd pence for you know, within seconds. I've seen downloads go up illegally within like 10 minutes of being released to the Magic community. When you're releasing a trick with a physical product, it doesn't matter that you know, you can send a download out to people. Unless you've got that physical product, you're not going to be able to do the trick, right? So a lot of Magic producers that are wanting to protect their investment, and trust me, it is an investment. When you're marketing a magic trick, there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it, both from a marketing point of view, from a creation point of view, filming it, everything. The process is crazy. And they want to protect their investment by having a physical product that you can't really pirate very easily. That's another reason why downloads are going to vanish. I think by the end of the year, I don't think we're going to see downloads. For example, one of the most exciting things, or one of the most popular things that happens is Penguin's end of year 2000, you know, at the end of the year awards, and they always have a download of the year category. I think maybe they'll have a download of the year category in 2023, but I think it'll probably be the last year. I might be wrong, but I think downloads are vanishing for good. Okay, fourth prediction. In fourth prediction, I think there is going to be a new global Magic TV show. Now, there's Magic TV shows that come on all the time, but some of them are very specific to the UK, and they don't get shown in America. Some of them are very specific to America or other different countries, and they don't get shown internationally. But I think that this year we're going to see a new TV show that's just global. You know those shows that just go out on every single country worldwide, and just everybody gets them and there's a buzz about them. I think we're going to see that for Magic. I think the last time we had that was David Blaine. Everybody buzzed about David Blaine. You know, there's TV shows that happen, even Penn and Teller Fool Us, for example. In the UK, we got the first season of Penn and Teller Fool Us, and that's it. The rest of the seasons went on America, unless you watch them on YouTube, or you can get them on some sort of streaming thing in the UK, which you can't get that illegally, as far as I'm aware. There's no way to actually be able to watch it because none of it is shown in the UK. So I'll go to gigs and I'll go, you know, I'll bring up Penn and Teller Fool Us, and people will go, oh yeah, I remember that from years ago. It's like they just think it's a one season thing because we don't get it in America. But I think there's going to be a global TV show, a little bit like David Blaine, which is exciting because the last time the David Blaine thing happened, that's when Magic just blew up. That's when Illusionist started. That's when just everything just went absolutely crazy, and Magic was really cool. Well, looking at the industry, and I mentioned this before, I'm seeing that Magic is being perceived as being really cool right now, with the amount of bookings, with people I'm speaking to at gigs, with people I'm speaking to generally. Magic is more popular than ever before. And I think it's a very simple formula. TV shows, when they see that something's popular, they're going to capitalize on it. Magic has had its ups, it's had its downs, and I think we're on an upward tick right now. now, and I think that the time is right to have this TV show that's going to be launched and everybody in the world is going to see it. Okay, the next one, prediction number 5, is a bit of a sad one, but I really do think it's the case. I don't think there's going to be any more Penn and Teller Fool Us. We're just about to go into season 9. Some of the acts that are going to be on season 9 have been announced, which is very exciting. I think that's going to be the final season. I really do. I don't think there's going to be any more. It's a shame because I love the TV show. I think it's a great exposure for Magic. But the ratings have never been brilliant. They're okay, but they've never been brilliant. And I think that there's going to be something else that's going to be coming along instead. I think 9 seasons is very good for any TV show. You know, some of my favorite TV shows of all time have only ran for like 7 seasons. 9 seasons is phenomenally good. And, you know, Teller hasn't been very well recently. You know, he's been in and out of hospital. The guys aren't getting any younger. And I just think that there's not going to be any more Penn and Teller Fool Us. I think that's it. I think we're done. I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to see a 10th season. Trust me, I would like to be wrong. And I'd be so happy if I was wrong. But looking at it and looking at everything, I think that there's not going to be any more Penn and Teller Fool Us. And on that point, we're going to carry on talking about Penn and Teller in the next prediction. Okay. Prediction number 6, I think that Penn and Teller are going to retire this year. I think they're done. I think we're never going to see Penn and Teller again after this year for a few different reasons. First of all, like I said earlier on, they're getting on. They're not getting any younger. They don't need the money. I mean, I think they've got the longest running show in Vegas of all time. You know, they're probably multi-millionaires. And when you get to a certain age, you know, you kind of just like, right, okay, I've done everything. I've been there. I've done that. I've achieved more success than I ever thought was possible. I just want to put my feet up. And then, obviously, Teller's not feeling very well at the moment. You know, he's been in and out of hospital. He can't do what he did even just a few years ago. Now, I know they both love performing. I know they both love Magic. But it comes to a point where it's just like, you know what, I'm just tired. And I just think in order to do their show, they're very proud of their show. And I've seen it a few times. They're very proud of it being very high impact, very high energy. And I think if they can't do what they do to the level that they do it at, I think they're probably going to call it a day. They've already announced, you know, they announced a UK tour, and it obviously had to get cancelled because of COVID. They've now rejiggled it for a different date in 2023, or a different set of dates in 2023, but it's been branded as the final UK tour. Which kind of suggests to me they're not going to do a tour in the UK anymore. And the reason, and I think that's because they're thinking of winding it down. I think that in order to have the branding of the final UK tour, this is a conversation they must have had. You know, how much longer that they can do this with Teller's health and with the amount of energy and effort it takes to put this in. And if my first prediction comes true regarding Penn and Teller, which is that Penn and Teller Fool Us is going to be cancelled, I think that they'll probably just go, okay, that's great. We've had an amazing run. Let's just ride off into the sunset. So I think this is the year. By the end of the year, I think Penn and Teller will have announced their retirement. Okay, so in prediction number 7, I think that there's something big that's going to happen with Illusionist. Now, I did my video a little while ago about, Illusionist and what I think is happening at the company at the moment. And I think that this could go one of two ways. I either think that Illusionist are going to turn everything around and they're going to blow up bigger than they ever have before, or I think they're going to implode, and I think that you're never going to see them again. I think that could be the case. I don't know. It could go one of two ways. I don't want to talk about this in any great detail. You can go back and watch my video that I did if you want more information. But the simple fact is Brad Christian is not as invested in Illusionist as he was. They've lost a lot of their star power. There's not as much of a buzz around Illusionist as there was before. Their latest Kickstarter did not do very well. Their social media is in the toilet, and I can't remember the last time I got excited about one of their releases. It's not a good situation to be in. Now, I think that they might throw a Hail Mary pass, and that's the thing that I think could make them blow up. If they're able to turn it round, and I think that it's obvious to anybody internally or externally that there's problems in Illusionist. I think if they come out and they hold their hands up and they're just completely honest, no stupid campaigns, no stupid back to black, no stupid I'm better than her name or anything like that. If they just come out and they just say, hey, things haven't been good here at Illusionist. We owe it to you to fix it. We owe it to you to be better. We can be better. We will be better. That will be a big thing that I think will help. Secondly, getting some artists back on board. I read somewhere that Justin Miller is going to be coming and doing several projects with Illusionist. And if that's the case, that would be amazing because, he was the poster boy for Illusionist for a very long time. He is one of the, if not the most creative magician in the planet, in my opinion. And he's got a huge following. And what's great about Justin is very controversial, which means that you really want to see everything that he's doing and he's got to say. I think if he got some names in like a Justin Miller and a couple of other people, and you're very sincere about the problems that have been going on, and then you actually let people know who the person's running it. As I say, the CEO is Geraint Clark. So have Geraint actually be the face of the company like Brad Christian was, because we get that in every other company. We have a face of the company, and Illusionist always did, but they don't now. And I think you look at Vanishing Ink, arguably one of the biggest magic shops in the world right now, just bought out Houdini's. They're going from strength to strength. They are definitely bigger than Illusionist, and everybody knows Andy and Josh run Vanishing Ink. You walk up to the session or Magic Fest, and what's there? It's a massive poster with Andy and Josh's face on it. I think that they need to do that. So I think that Geraint Clark needs to step up and be the person that everybody looks to as the CEO. I think that you need to get people like Justin Miller on board. I think that you need to be very sincere with the people that follow Illusionist, and you need to fix all of the problems like the social media, like the empty promises to fans. And if you do all of that, then I think that maybe they'll have a bright future, but it could just as easily end up with Illusionists going down the toilet. I think really it's Illusionists' game to win or lose, and really it's up to them. If they do well, then that's brilliant. If they do badly, well, that's terrible, but either way, it's Illusionists' fault. Okay, so the 8th prediction is I think that kids magic, performing magic for kids, will become more popular than ever before. We're going into 2023 in a global crisis in terms of the amount of money that people have to spend. We're being told on TV daily that we're in a financial crisis and nobody has any money, and that's happening around the world. Now, do I think that will impact bookings for magicians in the short term? Potentially, especially in certain industries like corporates. However, the one thing that I learned from building my business in the middle of a recession, I built my business in around about the 2008 time, which is when there was a massive recession. And one thing that I've learned very, very quickly is that kids' entertainment will always be popular. Always, even if you haven't got that much money and you're living on a budget and you can't afford to give your kids everything that you want to give them, you will work really hard to give them a fantastic birthday party and make it one that they won't forget. And I think that there'll still be a lot of bookings there for kids entertainers, and I think it might impact. I think close-up performances might be impacted in the short term, maybe, but I think that it won't for kids entertainment. And I think that I'm seeing already, I've seen on Facebook groups a couple of people go, I'm thinking of getting into kids magic, so someone give me some advice, or I'm thinking about getting into kids magic. My video, How to Run an Awesome Kids Party, has massively spiked in views over the last 3 months. And I think it's only going to continue to go up. I really do. I think that you're going to have people like Martin Sanderson. Martin Sanderson was, or is, an amazing close-up magician. He literally wrote the book when it came to corporate close-up magic. Literally did the very first DVD on it. A lot of the stuff that a lot of the corporate guys do now was based on Martin's act. But several years ago, he went and set up Magic Marty, a kids' entertainment company, and he does brilliantly with that. And I think that a lot of the people that hold their head up and they go, I wouldn't do kids' entertainment, I wouldn't perform for kids, no, that's beneath me, and have that antiquated attitude that I think sucks, I think they're going to either gravitate towards kids' entertainment, or I think they're going to struggle. Now, not everybody, but I think there's a percentage of people that will. So I think there's going to be more kids' entertainers or magic for kids in 2023 than ever before. Okay, prediction number 9, I think we're going to find out who Mr. Blonde is. You know, for the best part of 6 months now, we've been trying to find out who Mr. Blonde is. And you know what? I mentioned this in my worst tricks of 2022 because The Peak by Mr. Blonde got the worst trick of 2022, rightfully so. You know, the thing that I took exception to over the whole thing is that Mr. Blonde screwed over the whole magic community and then just didn't address it. Just left. And now we don't hear of him. You know, all the socials have been shut down, all the websites have been shut down. He made promises that he didn't deliver. And it shows that the person behind Mr. Blonde has absolutely no character. Else they wouldn't do that. And yeah, it's not a great situation. I've been very vocal about how much I've hated the whole Mr. Blonde situation and how much I've hated The Peak. And you know, I left the magic community for years, many years ago, because I made a mistake, but at least I wasn't hiding behind a fake name. Everybody knew who I was. Mr. Blonde is really screwed up. Now, I mentioned in my my video, The Worst Tricks of 2022, that a lot of people are pointing fingers at Chris Rawlins. Now, I don't know whether it's Chris Rawlins or not. I've always been a fan of Chris's material. We only just recently reviewed Clarity, and me and Ryland both loved it, thought it was really good. Wouldn't use it in our act, but thought it was really good. But everybody is saying it's Chris Rawlins. I don't know whether it is or not, but there's been posts on this YouTube channel from people that have said, oh, it's Chris Rawlins, and I had him contact me and say, threaten me with legal action if I didn't keep quiet about the Mr. Blonde thing. Now, I'm not going to take a YouTube comment as proof that it's Chris Rawlins, but I've had like 7 or 8 comments like that. And then Pig Cake, I didn't even realise by this, but Pig Cake put a video up where he categorically says it is Chris Rawlins. There's several posts on the Magic Cafe that got deleted that were pointing fingers towards Chris Rawlins. And on the latest Clarity thread on the Magic Cafe, 2 or 3 people have flat out gone on the cafe and said, hey, Chris, if it's not you, can you please just deny that you are Mr. Blonde? That's all we're asking for. What's interesting is on the thread, when everybody asked a question about Clarity, he was there in a heartbeat. But the second anybody brings up Mr. Blonde, radio silence. Now, maybe he's just trying to keep the thread on track. You know, I've done that in the past. You know, I ignore negative comments because, you know, what can I say to make that person happy? I don't know. But all I know is more and more people within the industry are pointing fingers at Chris Rawlins. And whether it is him or not, I think it would be pertinent and wise for Chris to come out and tell people he's not Mr. Blonde. And if he is Mr. Blonde, if Chris Rawlins is Mr. Blonde, then that's got major ramifications on his brand. Because frankly, I think that the whole Mr. Blonde thing was shady as hell. And I've got into numerous videos on this whole thing, but I think that, you know, how it was handled and how it was dealt with is just terrible. And I think that would impact very negatively on any creator that had their name associated with Mr. Blonde, especially as Mr. Blonde went and in essence, lied to his customers and then made a statement saying he's going to fix them and he's going to get stuff to Murphy's and then never did and then disappeared. That's the type of person that Mr. Blonde is. And if that is Chris Rawlins, how can we ever trust him again? I don't know. Like, I've been in a situation where the whole magic community hasn't trusted me, and it's taken me almost a decade to win that trust back. So it is possible, but it's not easy. However, the easiest way to deal with this is to just come out and say, hey, I'm not Mr. Blonde. Either way, I think we're going to find out who Mr. Blonde is. I think this whole thing isn't going to go away, and I think peer pressure is going to lead to us to know who Mr. Blonde is at some point in 2023. Okay, the final prediction number 10. I think that there's going to be a new thing in magic in 2023. What do I mean about thing? Well, throughout my career as a magician and throughout my time in the magic community, there's periods of time where magicians are obsessed over particular things. So I remember when I was working with World Magic Shop, I remember David Penn trying to produce or trying to think of a unique method for the self-levitation, because self-levitations were massive. Every single self-levitation that came out, just people would buy it. It would just blow up. In recent times, it's been ACAN. Anytime an ACAN comes out, everybody goes crazy for it. And it's been different things throughout the years. There's always there's certain things that are always popular. For example, like wallets. Wallets are always really popular, right? But then there's other things that I think they have like a period of time where everybody is obsessed over them. And I think there's going to be a new one in 2023. I think that the ACAN train is slowly slowing down. There's been quite a few ACANs that have come out in 2022. Fast by Dorian Johnson, the Quantum deck by myself, the version of the Quantum deck that Wayne Dobson brought out. The list goes on and on and on. And there've been some really, really good ones. But I think that in 2023, I think that's all going to slow down. And I think there's going to be a new thing. I don't know what it is, but I think there's a new plot or an old plot that's been reinvented that's going to be introduced to the magic community, and everybody is going to go crazy for it. So there you go, guys. That's my 2023 predictions. Do me a favor now. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, once again, I just want to say thank you for watching all of my videos, subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. If it wasn't for you guys, there would not be a Magic TV, so thank you very much. Now, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and don't forget you can go and join the NETRIX at www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. You can go and find out what all the fuss is about and why everybody is joining the NETRIX, because they are. And I'm very excited about what's coming up in 2023 for the NETRIX. Big changes are afoot, and you guys are going to be a part of it. I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.